Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today's reading will be a classical one. It's going to be called What Does the Future Hold for You? This means the reading will be about events, what you can expect to encounter or what you expect to heal from. I don't know, navigate, whatever. I don't even know because it's broad. I really don't know what I'll see there. But because of the fact that I enjoy deep readings and I would like you to have the best possible experience here, I have created 3 divisions in that reading. That means first one will be about challenges. This will be like a 3-card set. First 3 will be about challenges, second row will be opportunities, and third one will be advice for these events. So I promise to you that I will delve as deep as I can, and I will be as straightforward as possible. And I will as well keep in mind to say positive things, but when I see things that have to be acknowledged and for you to become more self-aware so that you can be more happy, then I will definitely do that. I really like shadow work, but we'll see here what the reading or the cards will be revealing to you. So I guess that's all for the introduction. So let's jump to the pile selection. 4 piles. First one, you'll see that dark crystal. Second one is citrine stone. Third one is clear quartz, and the last one, fourth one, is pink quartz. Yeah. So let's jump right into the first pile. I'll see you on the timestamps. You can check those in the comment section. Yeah. So yours is the dark crystal. So we have here the first row will be about emphasizing the events or what's happening with you in this future of yours. So boundaries, stars, Knight of Cups in reverse, it's 6 of Swords. Okay, Tower, motivation, represented by the World, and the key card in reverse. Let me tell you something, pile number 1. You are in very transformative energies here. You have in succession the Tower card and the stars. Yeah. That means this person who's watching, it will resonate with you if you've had some recent events that were really either very draining. That's on one hand. Second of all, it could be that you were burnt out, turmoil, stress, anxiety, could be even catastrophizing, panic attacks with this tower thing, being afraid or really powerless to some situations in life. Feeling powerlessness, this is a very heavy set here that is indicating perhaps the immediate past or what you're feeling right now. So that means you're undergoing something, and most likely here with this Tower Stars thing, it's healing in the form of experience, experiencing really low feelings, yet these are meant to transform your energy here with this World card. So I see here a metaphor of, there are forests that are burnt to the ground, but as they burn, the soil after this fire thing becomes so fertile for the next generation of trees to grow. And if it wasn't for that fire to occur in the first place, then that growth wouldn't be as potent as it should have been. So in your immediate future, I see healing, I see regeneration, I see recuperation, key card in reverse, you might be feeling hopeless. You might be feeling like it's never gonna end, it's never gonna solve, you know. And there is something about this Six of Swords here, this representation that tells me that you have lost hope. But I want to tell you something that with this boundaries card and the star, there is a huge change. There is very good and very like benefic atmosphere of your recuperation here. That means several things. Your future will be around the theme of clearing out emotions, becoming more clear, like in your head. Like if you've had mental confusion, this is all about clearing out that and becoming more, on one hand, aware. On the second is that sense of peace that arises after stressful event, let's say, when you integrate and you feel like peace. For example, that is this pile, I will not lie, it is heavy, but it has a promise for a better future. Like it has like that seed that has its potential to grow in a tree or in a rose, whatever. Like boundaries card, interesting. So you might be separating, you might be here with this card. I have an impression that you might be having a person in your nearest future to help you manage your emotions. This could be like a psychologist, this could be a very close person, this could be as well an advice to seek out help in the form of guidance and support. If you have a friend, if you have a relative, someone in whom you can confide in and tell them your troubles, though I deeply believe that this situation here has to unfold in a very organic way. You are encouraged to lay your fears, lay your stresses either on a paper or to some other people that are ready to make it so that you don't carry all the world on your shoulders, especially here that we have the world. So this pile as well, like this amazes me because this was supposed to be about the future, but you have here more signifier cards, whatever. Like this is describing more so the situation here, and the future, it holds a lot of motivation and drive and willpower. That's what I see here. There is as well with this key card that was that feeling of hopelessness or not knowing how to deal with it, with these things. You can definitely expect some support. This pile specifically feels like they are a lonely person in the world, and you might feel like you're separated on an island and you are against the whole world. That is not entirely accurate, not to invalidate your feelings, but I sense here a perception that is impeding you to feel better. That means perhaps it's about like shifting that perspective, or because it's a what does the future hold, you will be encouraged to have a more connective mindset here. That means you have to understand your greater role in your setup, in your life, in your individual life. You have to, that means as well, actualize and realize your individual purpose, impact, and place in this world that makes you function in like a greater kind of picture. So for you to destroy that mindset that you're alone, you have to realize that you are living being in a set of circumstances that depend on you. That means you have impact. You have impact on your immediate surroundings, And every action, whatever, like even your job, everything has its own impact in the whole world, so you're not powerless. um, in regards to events, I will try to center myself into that specific like wavelength, because I had here some huge description cards for some reason. Let's begin with boundaries. So, time to yourself, that will happen if you crave that, as well as with the stars card, time to regenerate, to rest, to meditate. Stars is also long baths, so that means relaxation. So that awaits. It's as well a phase of I'm resting, and because of that rest, first it's physical, then it kind of leads in to the emotional. That means you will have a better emotional state of your being. So in events, this could be a long waited like free day, a long waited for some vacation, all centered around resting. Honestly, with this boundaries card is like, I want time alone, and you'll receive that if you're craving it. I sense many here will be putting their life or responsibilities on hold. That means if you've had some plans for the future, you might be postponing them, and that's the best thing you can do. You will be slowing down. You will be, many here will as well be very introspective, will be diving deep into their like maybe shadows. Some will just rest, which is totally fine. You have to listen to yourself and decide for yourself what it is that you want to do. But some will truly rest. Lots of cards that indicate that, especially after what I have told you. You know, in the future events, I like grandiosity to mention in the reading, but this pile is not about grandiosity right now. That means for you, it's all about like ending the immediate like responsibilities, fixing whatever needs to be fixed in your immediate surroundings, for example, and just taking it slower, taking it slow and finding clarity again, which can be a very honorable and noble thing you can offer to yourself. And when you feel better by radiating this to others, a great favor to others as well. Okay, I think I covered the events. It's a more static description of events here, but it's definitely something that I strongly resonate here with in regards to expressing the message. Okay, let's see. Let's jump to the challenges side of the reading. You have optimism in reverse, self-exploration in reverse, and beginnings. So you'll be struggling a bit with entering in new beginnings, or you might be the case of someone who has attached to some like turmoil in their life. That means you could have like lingering thoughts, you can be stuck on some like situations. I find myself doing that as well at times. Well, it's like that feeling when, for example, you just sit there, or you, I don't know, you drink your coffee and all of a sudden you have like those flashbacks. You might be dealing with that, so be gentle with yourself. Optimism in reverse definitely comes in great resonance with what I have described previously, meaning that yeah, you might be feeling like this can never end, this will never end, and I will always be like this. So you might be struggling to see yourself and your situations objectively. That means you would greatly benefit by engaging in some practice that will help you gain objectivity, which I did mention being meditation or journaling, since I heard that when you write your problems on paper consistently enough, you detach from them to some degree and you realize that you're not your problems. So, in regards to your challenges, you'll definitely have that. Um, Discovering the light at the end of the tunnel. Self-exploration in reverse, I feel like you are not very willing to do the introspection, self-exploration because you are tired, and definitely respect that feeling and offer yourself the rest you deserve. And after, you can pursue any self-exploration that is calling to you. So don't overly make yourselves responsible about your problems, about your issues here, or even about your stress, because doing that will not benefit you, will only drain you even more. So in challenges, you have to just huge acceptance here has to take place, resting, taking a slower pace, inviting more gentleness, and being overall more self-loving and gentle with yourself. And yeah, don't rush. Like, if you are prone to rushing into things or being productive, please don't do that, or at least try to be present with the feeling of rush, so much so that it doesn't control your life. So this pile would benefit from physical and mental rest, mental emotional rest. Sleeping, meditating, nature strolls, walking us outside, listening to inspirational stuff, listening to your favorite music as well will be very beneficial here for you. Opportunities, you have nurture in reverse, expansion in reverse, and joy. So opportunities, you will have some sort of contrast with those experiences. I've had like a very funny situation. I know it's not funny, but I'm trying to express the fact that at the time when I experienced such turmoil, I didn't regard it as funny. Now that I look at it, I realize that nature and life has a humorous way. Definitely, you will see like a very huge spike of improvement here with joy. Perhaps you've had those moments in which you thought the worst, and all of the sudden you just needed to rest. You rested and you saw the situation in way, way better ways. Uh, Perception shifts because of resting. That is very much characteristic for this pile. With this expansion, I would like to say you'll have a window of opportunity to introspect, to know yourself better, to understand what is valuable for you and what is not, discerning the reality from your projected fears, and constructing a very good opportunity to actually construct a very objective way of looking at things. And nurture here as well means retracing your steps, and giving yourself the love that you deserve, the rest, and stopping to extend energy towards you, and ceasing to give that energy to people, places, circumstances that are draining you. So that's a very good opportunity for you to discover that. I love that I have here a time to give rather than receive, rather than take. It's in reverse. It's in reverse for a reason. You have to give yourself. As I said, this is repeating itself all over as a message. Priority on myself, priority on myself, prioritizing my needs, prioritizing my peace and my um, choices. That means if I want to do this, no second thoughts, don't be influenced by other people's opinions, and don't disregard yours, and definitely go to the ends of the world to listen and understand yourself. Okay, so awareness and clarity in reverse, Four of Cups and Ace of Swords. You might be tempted to say that right now, life as it is, with properly described events, if they resonate with you, that you are feeling, and there is not much to see in the future. But I promise you, you have to see that this is all a filter. And with clarity here in reverse, you don't have to believe in what you feel right now. You have to realize that your emotions are a valid reflection of what's happening with you, but you don't have to let that mean the fact that it's going to be that way forever. And you don't have to make assumptions, especially here in that situation, because that card is telling me that you are not in a space to draw proper conclusions about the world merely because of that filter. And that doesn't mean your estimations are always wrong. I'm just saying that for this situation, you just have to be more reserved in not letting you jump to conclusions. And all of that comes with the awareness card, meaning that, this is as well a card of depression, Four of Cups, and yeah, don't let anything like get to your head when you hear or when you see what's happening right now in the world. No, please don't, because as I said, try to bring more objectivity to your case, and with that objectivity you'll find that you may get absorbed into things, and that is completely natural and normal, and I do that all the time. But at times I as well have to remind myself that I have to gain that objective perspective in order for me to feel better about life situations. So that was all for Spile. I really hope you enjoyed. If anything, that reading was meant to bring awareness and clarity in your situation, and I really hope that wasn't the case of a shadow work that is like bringing people lower. I wanted this reading to help you navigate things. That means if it resonated as a situation, there are things you can look forward to. You just have to be busy a little bit with self-discovery and working on yourself through the lens of events and things that you feel emotionally here, which is a great opportunity for change and for transformation. When I find myself in such circumstances, right after I quit them, I realize that immense growth has happened as a result of these things bubbling up to the surface. Like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to check out my old videos. Take care of yourself, especially right now. Bye! Hi, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So you have the citrine stone, second pile. What does the future hold for you? First row of the cards, Warrior Woman in reverse, King of Wands, Ace of Swords, Fishes card, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, and Judgment with forgiveness written there. Oh, and by the way, with this Warrior Woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Okay. This pile does have some things here associated with worries because of the Nine of Swords. I will read you the signification or the description so that you can fit your situation in that. Okay, beginning with the Fisher's card in reverse, I want to say you might be feeling disconnected from your intuition, from the greater course or rhythm of events. So you might be having some issues here in regards to anxiety, Nine of Swords, as I said, worries, fears about some potential outcomes, But more so, this card, it's all about potentials. So that doesn't mean that you really have obvious signs here that things will be going in the bad direction. It's more so a feeling of I don't want things to repeat from the past. With the Judgment card, I can say right now or in your immediate past, you must have had some very important changes or very like strong events or turbulations here, because it's a very powerful card in regards to events, but more so here it's a description. So this could mean that you were going through these changes. For some, because I saw here a card called security, you might be having like financial worries because of the Nine of Pentacles being so close to the Nine of Swords, and as well that fear of the unknown, because it's accompanied by the Judgment card. What does the future hold can play itself in a very worrisome way for you. So you can feel like that anticipation or that small lingering fear that is like playing in the background for you. By the description, by the way, could be the case with this Ace of Swords that you're really a little bit trying to control everything for things not going in the wrong direction, or not having faith in things going better or things going right. Again, this is more perception of yours and not actually the reality. Again, not invalidating your feelings. I'm trying to reassure you that sometimes it's our mind that is playing games on us. So you have here as well King of Wands. So that gave me an array of messages. You might have had more stability in your past, or you might have had that feeling of control in your distant past, and for some reason in those recent events, situations, you must have felt more out of control, and with that sense of lack of control came that lingering fear, that lingering feeling of anxiety. Yeah, definitely here some could even take it personally, that they might feel incapable of being the ruler over their life, but that is being taken in a wrong direction, that interpretation. Not having control in your life at times and in some circumstances doesn't mean that you are an incapable person, doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong. Sometimes we just do our best and expect the best outcomes, and that's natural, that's normal, and it doesn't mean anything bad about you. Especially here with this warrior woman, I feel like you in the past had more courage, more energy, or more optimism about things turning out in your favor, or like the spark was greater back then. Okay, so I think that closes the description very well in that regard. I will go ahead and specifically interpret that row as in a key of events. So let's begin first of all with the warrior woman. So I had a feeling about this card being that you must have some responsibilities right now in your life, and no matter your mindset, you have to continue on doing them, because there is much depending on the person who's watching here, and you have to trust in the innate concept that you are placed in the right circumstances with the proper responsibilities, and no matter what the assessment, your personal assessment of it is, you have to do your duty, basically. That means if you are assigned to a job but you have fears about it, like maybe you're not doing it enough, whatever the negative thing that is being associated with this pile is about your own ability. This could be imposter syndrome, whatever. Trust and believe that it is not a mere coincidence that you are being placed and given those specific responsibilities, those specific roles that you have to play. And you'll see that more so the benefit is happening, like your contribution is being felt, but it's your mind that is playing tricks. So you'll be handed in the future some responsibilities. This could be job responsibilities, this could be someone wanting your help, and you being that person to offer your passionate help to that person, basically as a service. Or yeah, that's what I felt here. I especially felt like this pile will be very busy, positively busy. Like you'll have a key of circumstances and events that will require you to take action, literally. And it will be that kind of discrepancy when people will depend on you, but deep inside of you will not feel like you can't do it. You can actually do it. Again, I'm emphasizing the first message. You just have to stick with it and make it work, make it go, let go of your perception. Just believe in what I have told you, that you are placed in the right conditions to help people as you are right now, and your ability, your skill, and your perception of it have to be separated one from another, and for you to believe that you can actually bring value. Maybe you have forgotten this, and this reading is trying to remind you of that. This card, Ace of Swords in reverse, is overthinking, so you have to be careful to be observant and very attentive to that part of yourself. And this connection with intuition with Fish's card. If you are fearing about struggling financially, don't be afraid. You have the Nine of Pentacles. That means you will gain some stability, though the fears will tell you otherwise. I feel like this card is trying to tell you that you'll not starve, you'll have enough, you'll have just what you require, and over time you'll have more. You'll just have to wait through this period of time. Okay, so next up we have the Nine of Swords as events. So again, this is more pertaining to the feeling I got from the description, meaning that you'll be having some fears, but that's okay. Stick to what I have told you there. Judgment and especially forgiveness being written here. So that period as well for you will be about cleansing, about changes, like huge change. You can expect changes. These will appear to be like very strong changes, like you could be experiencing, I don't know, in setup of work. This could be like people coming and going, people leaving a job and you witnessing that, and someone new coming by. Great changes, that is something for you to assign role to here. But for some it could be that you will be saying your goodbyes with, I don't know, a friend, for example, or if you are working with a friend, they might be leaving or something like this. So yeah, but yeah, don't be afraid. Just know the fact that you are given what you need, and that you're being cared for, and what comes about is what you need, and actually like what goes away comes back to you in a different form. So you have to see that here, have to actualize that message as well. So let's move on to the challenges sector of the reading. 3 cards. In reverse, we have perceive, upright nostalgia, and security. You might be clinging as challenges to some feelings of nostalgia, sadness, or grief here. Um, And this security card, you might be feeling like with those great changes, you'll have a feeling of, I'm really afraid to lose something, or I'm really afraid to lose my financial stability here. It's not going to happen, it's more perception. With perceive in reverse, I have to remind you that I saw here mental confusion, lack of connection to your intuition, and as well with perceive card in reverse, you have to be careful to establish or to re-establish that connection with your inner voice, higher self, if you believe in that stuff, and find the practices and techniques to bring that back into alignment. So yeah, that's what I see here. There is as well a separation between, how well can I see objectively the reality that is being presented to me? Do I really see it objectively, or do I interpret it? Because this pile might be encountering that they might be perceiving the world in a certain way because they feel a certain way about the world. And in that sentence lies the key to seeing the truth. That means you have to distill and discern your feelings, your own feelings, and your own experiences that you have, and your interpretations from what's actually happening. Okay, with this nostalgia, you might be having like those thoughts that, in the past it was better, and then like I'm like craving that past situation so much. I'd like it to be like it was in the past. You could be idealizing some past situations and not seeing the true reality. Like, I catch myself doing that as well at times, and this could be a challenge for you in the sense of you might be reviewing some old memories and only seeing the positives there and not acknowledging that in the past you've had your challenges in that specific situation. And for many here, you'll feel like, okay, I'm idealizing right now, but I remember I didn't feel as good back then. So yeah, you might be experiencing sadness as well. You have to battle that. You have to accept it, be present with it, and yeah, just discern, as I told you there. Opportunities. You have healing, aplomb, and calming in reverse. Obviously, the healing card is telling me that those things that are bubbling up to the surface are a great opportunity for you to integrate and digest your feelings, your emotional side, basically to train it, something along these lines. Aplomb is as well an opportunity to hold composure and to hold a very graceful stance and develop flexibility in the stuff that you encounter. And that is all in like a training setup here with this calming. So it's all a setup actually. Like I feel it's like a setup for this pile, all these situations, and especially your emotions is being displayed like not like an emotion, like a lesson. So if you can actually use that period of time to introspect, to know yourself better, and to reprioritize everything in your life. And aplomb is a very graceful, noble opportunity to, while you help others, help yourself, and show yourself and show this thing to the world that you can actually battle, withstand every challenge that is being faced, given to you in a very, very noble way. This pile does have the necessary self-awareness to win the situation over, to transform it in such a way that it is not something that is making you weaker. No, it's something that is building strength of character, and especially strength and depth of character. That is training you to be more adaptive, more flexible, resilient, and nurturing that feeling of trust in the universe, in yourself, that you can be that person to face whatever it is that is being thrown at them. So this pile has a very huge opportunity for optimism because as well of the citrine stone. It's that capability to see beyond difficulties, beyond temporary setbacks, which is a great power to have. Um, usually people succumb to some negative perceptions, and then they make it mean so that my life is not going in the right direction and it will never change. You have that optimism is lingering, and it's optimism linked to a very strong feeling of poise, composure, and I can make it happen through everything if I really want to, if I desire to, because nothing stands in my way when I'm motivated. Yeah, that's what I see here. In advice cards actually, you have here battles. Pick your battles is what I saw here immediately. And memories, do not delve or do not dwell on those spaces in time, or yeah, memories, you know them. Don't think back of some situations in a certain way, because you might be painting the circumstance more so than in a better way, or even in a distorted way than it actually happened. So go there if you're prepared. Basically, that is what I see here. And you have don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo in reverse. I felt like you have to take responsibility more on your thoughts, your actions, and intentions here, and don't let yourself be let down by your own um, let's say interpretations, feelings, temporary things that do not represent you, do not dictate who you are. You are beyond and more than that. You are not your feelings, you're not your thoughts, you are something way beyond that. So this pile does have to learn the lesson of acknowledging their power and as well influence and impact in the world, and they have to be more they don't have to be underestimating themselves. They have to be reminded of their strength, skill, talent, and the fact that they have an influence on this world by merely existing, and that you have a lot of people to look forward to. Not only they will support you and you are supported, but you are someone who's truly having the capacity, the power, and as I said, the influence to change lives. Uh, you change lives when, for example, you are a mother and you grow your children. That's a huge impact. You change the world. For example, if you're working in a restaurant and you're making the food as well, I perceive that to be a very powerful place to be in. You prepare the food for a lot of people. You know, every job, everything that you do here with in alignment with your talents has an impact that you have to rediscover, to relearn, to see again, because it feels to me like this pile is on that level of like mental turmoil or emotional turmoil, and is forgetting to see the full picture and their fullest potential here. That's all I have for the second pile. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing a reading. It was at times heavy, but I like doing that stuff. So if you find it useful, then my job is done, so to speak. So like, comment, subscribe, check out my old videos, and take care of yourself in this period of time. Bye. Hi, pile number 3, clear quartz. Welcome to your reading. So I will begin by giving the description, which I did like with the rest past piles, so it was really fine for me. Yeah. Break the chain, first card. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So the feeling I got from this is that you're undergoing some sort of process here. This pile could be very much advanced in self-awareness, awareness work, shadow work, these types of things. Overall, I saw you as being very responsible because of the temperance card, or being very well put together, or being very resistant to a lot of stress in life, you know. And I saw that with this temperance card, you could be helping a lot of people or trying to hold yourselves together for the sake of your family, for the sake of yourselves, business wise, reputation, how you look, how you are being perceived. It's a feeling of a person who's very steadfast in their intention, in their work actions, and for some, you are very adept at dealing, mediating, and working with problematic people. Because I got here the snake card in reverse and the devil card, which are very powerful ones, especially in that key of interpretation, meaning that you try to bring the best in people, and even in the worst case scenarios where people behave inappropriately, let's say, at least. You try to bring the best qualities in them, or to mediate the situation so much so that there are no injured parties. Or, for example, if you were to work, let's say, in a shop, and you have a very problematic customer that's coming and basically complaining about something, then you're that person who will try to be very neutral, to be very objective about the situation, and basically create a peaceful resolution in the situation there. So you have a very responsible demeanor, a very responsible way or mentality here, which is being showcased, highlighted actually. Because of this representation of the Knight of Pentacles here, I felt like distinctly this pile is wanting to find the best possible solution. Sorry, my accent, that's so funny. I'm trying to not, but yeah, whatever. Trying to find the best possible solution for everyone who you are dealing with. So, alongside with the King of Swords, I felt like, maybe you're not so feely touchy here, yet it is an aspect of, you know, even if I don't have like very feely touchy emotions towards a person, that doesn't mean I don't have to deal with them in a very decent and respectful manner. So with the description here, I say a very responsible person, a very serious person, a very like morality driven, morality structured individual who doesn't like to be petty here, or at least you're trying to show the best thing, the best things, the best qualities in yourselves in front of other people and with yourself as well, like cultivating a very noble intention, a very noble demeanor, and a way of dealing with people here, and especially here with people who are difficult. So you are going to be that person who's like, I don't want to make a distinction, I know people are going through stuff, so we don't have to create like a separation here, like we don't have to be selective, a very equal way of treating people. And I felt like with this break the chain card, it is a very new thing, or you're cultivating it, and maybe not many relatives or like friends or people in general are practicing that or are trying to cultivate that, and you're like that new person who is valuing that, and like, I don't care what people are doing, I'm going to do it my way, and if I believe in something, then I will make sure to mm, propagate and um, basically advertise that behavior. In that case, it's a normal one, like it's a very noble way of dealing with people, which I really enjoy and like about this pile. So that was the key of interpretation with this description section, because that was a very intuitive thing to do with the rest of the piles. But I felt here that would be necessary to mention, you might be a person who's overly responsible, and the pressure at times can be a little bit too much, or at times you can enter that extreme in which you're overly responsible for things in such a way that it's hurting you. So that's like a little small warning here that's trying to seep in the reading and tell you that your expectations of yourself are fine, but be careful so as to invite as well gentleness, and be gentle and loving towards yourself too. So don't forget about that. That's a mention here. It's like a interesting thing. Okay, let's jump to the events. So, in the key of what I have told you here, break the chain. Again, this card has events, new things, new unexpected changes, or you could expect some small minor schedule changes in your activity. You can expect, for example, to be introduced to either like new philosophies, new ideas, new people here because of the break the chain. I see an element of breaking out of the comfort zone. And yeah, break the chain in this case could be like you might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Like it's that unknown feeling when you dive into something new, or you might be welcomed to actually explore a new modality to deal with things. So that means if you have been working on a project and you were working in a certain way, certain direction, you might be encountering like a shift in perspective, and therefore you'll have like a break of chain. You'll have a revolutionary way to think about it. You might be given that by someone else. So with the break of chain, I saw a change in the direction of the way you deal with things. So that's quite interesting. As well, those of you who are introspective, who like to meditate, delve into self-awareness things, you might be discovering a new dimension of the unknown within yourself, and you might be changing your character, or you might be encountering actually some very crucial events or circumstances or even people that will change your mind, that will shift the way in which you were dealing with things in the past, for example. This is also a card of breaking at times, breaking traditions or questioning traditions. So if you saw in your family or at work things being done in a certain way, you might be that person who's like, but why are you doing this? Because we can work in a different way, or we can find a more pleasing solution to this. You know, you might be encouraged to do that, and some people will even praise you for that new, revolutionary approach, which is awesome. I like that. Well, the message still remains the same. You might be actually dealing with some snake people, devil people represented by these cards, but you'll do the best possible job you can actually, because a very balanced individual here is being brought to the table, someone who's being able to diffuse an argument, someone who's very cool and not so influenced by their emotions here. And as I said here, there is an element of praise or great respect that comes alongside with this feeling of, look, that person is being able to mediate that conflict and not take it personally, which is a great thing to have in this reading. And it's like a forecast of like a challenge being thrown at you, and you being like very wise and calculated, non-emotional, and dealing with it like um, people will be amazed. Like I want to say, you'll be either receiving feedback or it will be indirect, in the sense of your skill, your way of dealing with things will be very much praised, appreciated, and highly respected, because it's being regarded here as a very rare thing or a very rare attitude to embody. And especially embody because some people might be trying their best to do that, but they're not as successful as you are here. Okay. Temperance, you might be encountering here with this card some situations in which people will depend on you. That could be work related, that could be family related. Someone can ask you for help. Someone could ask you to be their person of reference. For example, someone needs help in a specific domain or something along the lines of an advice, This is as well the case of you being that person who is bringing that information to them and changing the situation for the better. I see here a test, definitely like 3 cards indicated that, and this 8 of Pentacles here is a very interesting representation. Careful, you might be, someone might be trying to manipulate you or trying to see how far they can get. They will not get far. I'm sorry for them, because Yeah, you're very highly guarded in the psychological sense. Like, I'll not dive into, I mean, angels things, not because I don't believe in them, but here I see a very powerful psychological barrier, or very powerful trained psychological mind or power in general, whatever that means. In the sense of you're not so easily swayed in a direction that is not authentic, meaning that it is hard for people to manipulate you. It is hard for them to make you do something that they would want to do because they try to basically profit off of your emotions. And it's interesting because you've got here some very petty, small people who will be trying to maybe test your ground, test your limits, or test your boundaries and see whether you will be reacting to that or not. And I see here a forecast of non-reaction. And especially with what I have told you there previously in the description, I sense that you are going to um take it easy and basically not even like stop at that situation. So you'll be doing a great job in mediating that, or you'll be very good at seeing patterns or observing what's happening really, like seeing through people, seeing through their lies, and having that decency and objective way of dealing with things. Yeah, expect you can actually expect like some tests here, or some people testing you, which is okay. You've got what it takes to deal with this. So yeah, if it is work related, this could be gossip, this could be yeah, gossip, most likely people talking behind your back, people speculating, trying to find information about you, and it's all like small things, petty things. That's like mild with the snake in reverse, because you'll be seeing what's actually happening. But with the devil, I want you to be very careful, because this could be a person who's higher in rank than you are, and they might be trying things. Just careful, just a reminder, if you have someone who's above you, if that's work related, this could be a boss. If it's that thing where it's family related, this could be someone who's maybe having some leverage. I don't know if it is leverage. I don't know if that's a word, but when someone has an advantage or can make you feel like, yeah, maybe they have more money and basically you have less, and for that reason it feels like they're dominating. Careful to see and to listen to your inner voice, or to listen to your perception or estimation of events, because you'll be seeing things very clearly, and you won't have to worry that you're not seeing what's actually happening, because you're very good at that. In opportunities, oh sorry, that's like actually challenges, because yeah, I thought of challenges first. In challenges, I saw here alchemy. I think that has very strong ties with break the chain card, meaning that you actually can be prone to delving into emotional stuff or emotional territory that you will be a little bit unwilling to do, or you might be encouraged to explore your emotions. And at times the deep work that has to be done with break the chain or breaking the pattern involves actually feeling or being very receptive or open to experiencing things on a very emotional level. That means, for example, to process grief, you have to experience it, unfortunately, and it's very deep and painful. And yeah, you might be dealing with some like challenge of the sorts of I'm unwilling to feel, which is totally normal. Um, you have as well moving forward. So, and return to source in reverse. Interesting. I think is the case here of a person who is being invited as well to broaden their perception, their beliefs, or their consciousness in general, akin to that feeling when you explore, for example, through meditation. I will give you that because it's the most closest thing to what I can describe here. So when you meditate, actually expand your consciousness, okay? And with this moving forward, you might be encountering some key circumstance that will encourage you to expand in a similar way. But you will be having some like fears maybe, or emotional things that will be dragging you behind, dragging you down actually. Yeah, and that comes with a break the chain, meaning that you'll have a level up, a glow up, a change in perspectives, or a change in beliefs. Like if you are having like some very fundamental beliefs, or some beliefs that are, let's say, either old or just beliefs in general, like many things can be considered that way, you might be encouraged to question them and to test whether they are truly yours and whether they are benefiting your situation or not. And with this return to source, I feel like you will be I don't want to say thrown, I want to say pushed. Okay, these channeled messages are really crazy, but I want to say you are being pushed to purify or to have a likeness to one of the sources, which comes in very powerful resonance with the message of expanding your consciousness. And it's a broad thing, expanding your perception. That means if you, for example, had a group of people who are, for example, I don't know, let's say from a religion, and you might be familiarized with them, but now you'll be thrown like a situation in which you'll have to meet other people from other religion, and now you're like, okay, these people are bringing so much new information, so many new perspectives that I now have to expand and broaden. So you might be given information, you might be given a new philosophy here, you'll be given an opportunity to test it out. If you're reading, if you're listening to something, you might be expecting some sets of huge new information. Okay, so in opportunities, you saw here 62, the card of sexuality, self-love, and highest purpose in reverse. Again, emotional territory. I feel like for this pile, you are very adept at dealing and mediating things, but emotionally, there is a barrier there, and you might be with this card, like the first thing that came with a 62 card was you might be feeling shame. If it resonates, if it doesn't, it's okay. Dealing with self-concept things, or dealing with the idea of how much you appreciate yourself, how much you accept and love yourself. So that's an opportunity as well that finds itself on the scale of self-development, self-exploration, and as well self-love, because yeah, self-concept, identity, who am I worthy of love? And it's like an opportunity to either explore that and really question what's happening inside of you, or you will be given some opportunities in the form or in the guise of people who will either trigger you, or they will be the person who will trigger you, and at the same time they might be actually helping you. So if you are having an evolved like type of surrounding, they might be triggering you and helping you process it. So yeah, I triggered you, but now I will be helping with that. And for some, you'll be having like a very supportive group of people. This could be close friends, friends in general, who will be you'll have that opportunity in which they will show you their support and love to you. Higher purpose, again, an opportunity to discover and to broaden your use and to upgrade your skills and talents. At first, if that was a very good skill at mediating things, you might be deepening that skill into the emotional category, in the emotional dimension of things. Okay, that's a very, very powerful pile, let's say, here with these, like, I like with what we started in the description, and I like the evolution here that's happening. Like, very huge powers. Great powers. When I'm emotional, every single word, like, it flies out of my mouth in like 2 seconds, and I'm like, okay, I said that so incorrectly, but yeah, for the fun of the reading, yeah, like you'll be having my raw like personality here, which I cannot avoid. We all have that quirky side. I guess that's mine. Believe in impossible in the advice. So do not believe in restrictions. Do not set things in stone, or don't believe that there is limitation in what you can achieve here. There is a feeling of settling about this pile and basically like feeling like, okay, nothing changes, or you know, the very wild contrast you can receive from a child and, for example, an older person is the way in which they see and perceive the light. The life. Okay, I got distracted, never mind. So the contrast, the wild contrast, is the way they perceive things in life. That means the child is more flexible, more free-spirited and spontaneous in the way they perceive the world. And in like adults or older people in general, because yeah, we see rigidity, we see a lack of flexibility, or a sense of I know what is possible from what is impossible and you can't fool me, when the child doesn't know that there is such a thing as impossible. And I feel like this pile could have some rigid tendencies, like adult-like things. There are like predetermination circumstances. You are invited to explore that spontaneity, to rediscover that spontaneity, free spirited type of attitude. And you have 8 of Cups, doorways, and 10 of Pentacles here with contentment. I can say about this pile that you can have a level of financial fulfillment here, yet it's not everything and it's not all the happiness you can actually experience. Like this could be the case of someone who can have a decent earning, or they could be earning quite a lot, but they find themselves unhappy still, and you're encouraged to delve into the emotional and go in that direction and explore and evolve in that way. And when I say evolve, that means exploring, feeling more, and being adept not only at mediating things, as I said in the beginning, but as well at feeling. Like not so much thinking, but more feeling. Like, for example, if I don't know, you have a situation in life, a difficult situation, try not to think about it, but try to feel your way through it and feel your way through a solution for it. That's what I feel basically with this card. And yeah, I pretty much love what I see here, because it's an opportunity, like a next level, like update, upgrade thing, which I enjoy. And it's three powerful cards that are indicating you or hinting at you the fact that you are not set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. And if you can't change circumstances, the thing that is still available to you to renew, to change, and to transform is your attitude and your inner world. And that is very flexible. It's very resilient, that side of you. It's very, you can practice it, you can explore it emotionally, and you might be feeling a new drive to live, a new drive, a new dimension to life, which is coming from the emotional side of things. Thank you so much for watching pile number 3. That was your reading. A lot of mumbling here happened, but yeah, that's me. That's my readings. That's my reading. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe, and check out my old videos, and take care of yourselves. Bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, 4th pile and the last one for this reading. So you have here the card Mirror in reverse. First one. Oh, by the way, I was telling the first, second, third pile that I will be starting with the description, because that was the most accurate thing that came up. So yeah, we'll be doing that with the first row, and I will be interpreting the first row as well as in the what will happen style thing, key, whatever. So I'm trying to read here. It says, who or what is triggering you? That will be in description. You might be at edge. You might be feeling actually like the spell will resonate, like everyone is against you, someone is trying to get me. 7 of Wands, a lot of it could be the case of someone with intrusive thoughts, or someone who's having a lot of thoughts in general, or you could be rationalizing a lot of things in your life. You could be leaving that emotional side of yours and delving into thoughts, or thoughts could be grabbing your attention a lot, or you could be feeling like at the mercy of your thoughts here, because I saw a multitude of these. They are very close to the mirror card. I felt like you might be actually aware of this happening, or this reading could be a mirror for the confirmation of what's actually happening. Four of Cups I saw here immediately, and I was like, this pile definitely feels like 50-50 in life, meaning that you're not feeling as bad, as low as actually it is possible, but at the same time you're not as joyful as, well, you might be the Queen of Cups here. A very emotional person in general, a water sign could be the case, and spontaneity card. That means it could be the case, this card encompassing some trait of yours, being emotional, spontaneous, joyful, very like non-stagnant in general, non-stagnant energies coming to the table. You know, you could be a very optimistic person in general, or you could have regarded yourself as being very lucky in life. Though for now, at least in this period of your life, you could be feeling more so like troubled, worried, or like this luck, it does participate in your life and you're still some kind of optimistic, yet something is weighing you down, something is troubling you, something is wrong, something is making you feel out of your comfort zone, out of your lane, so to speak. Because I see here a very, as a description, I see a very calm person, emotionally wise, with your state of your being very calm, yet it felt to me like underneath the surface there is a lot of things happening. There is a lot of worry, there is a lot of fear of the future, or fearing in general things repeating from the past. And I felt like it would be useful for you to notice and mention this in the reading, that you are okay and it's all right to have that experience, and everyone has this thing to some degree or other. I find myself resonating with this as well. You know, this pile might be thrown very small to not so small like challenges that will be revealing things. That means it's a good period of introspection, a good period to know yourself, a good period to ask yourself the great questions, and to ask yourself what is really important for you in life. This could be the case of some circumstance here alongside with those intrusive thoughts urging you to deal with them. That means you could have that period in life in which you might be experiencing a small crisis or an inconvenience that is urging you to ask the bigger question, or to find the bigger perspective here. That's what I saw here, and it feels to me like it's not more so hot and cold, it's more neutral. It's more like I'm doing fine, but you know, there is an aftertaste, there is a bitterness, there is like a small uncomfortable feeling or static thing that is going in the background, you know. And this could be the case of someone who's dealing with a feeling of, I want something, but I'm unsure what it is that I really desire. Or like, I have this, I have that, for example, I have that love, I have that job, for example, and it's fine, but still something is kind of missing, and I don't know quite what it is, but it is a feeling of missing something. Yeah, something is wrong. I don't know why. This is describing your state. If that doesn't resonate with you right off the bat, I'm telling you this might not be your pile, but I see this person who's watching doing fine, in the sense of everything outside is kind of working in a very stable way, yet there is still dissatisfaction in things, and it's like an urge for you to explore what does it mean for you. This could be as well an urge for, or an hint for greater exploration, or you might be encouraged to basically introspect. Yeah, that's what I saw here. I think I'm repeating the message all over. So let's jump in the side of events thing of the reading. So with the mirror card, and especially the trigger thing, you might be actually visiting some relatives. Some people from the past might be coming. Some situations might be actually triggering you or showing you something that you didn't know was there. You know, that's what I see with this first card. It's like a feeling of, wait a second, I didn't see that. Or, for example, you have an unpleasant interaction and for a very long time you maybe thought that something is wrong, or that person is purposefully trying to get me, and now it will be like an aha moment in which you'll realize, oh, maybe it's something from my past, or maybe it's trying to tell me something about my own perception of self. Or if not that, if you're not resonating with the triggering thing, you might be exploring the core issues or the core reasons behind your unhappiness, and you might be given some either relationship or information or book or story or author that will be helping you with that in regards to that kind of thing, that kind of exploration. And it's an actually very exciting thing for me as a Scorpio, because I like transformations and I especially like going deep. Because when you find yourselves in that point, it's pretty much no return type of scenario, in which when you ask yourself these questions, you shift your perspective, and definitely, obviously, you cannot go back to the previous version of yourself. Yeah, that's what I saw. You might encounter some major situation in which you'll be demanded, like you'll be in high demand here with this Seven of Wands. um, Many of you who are working on a personal project, for example, or you're doing something of sorts like a hobby, or it could be even work related, there will be high demand and lots of clients. I see that with this six of coins here, this girl holding a lot of mice's tails, and it feels to me like you'll have either dependency from people, like people will depend on you providing something, or you'll be having something very valuable to bring to the table with this Seven of Wands thing, where you see that man holding a very bright stone and everyone is terrified. Someone is wanting to grab that stone basically, and there is an element here of very high value. I don't know what you're doing, but there is someone here who will be either envying you, or you'll have lots of people who will say that I need what this person is providing, I need that no matter what. You'll be sparking a lot of different emotions in people because of the way in which you'll be providing a skill, or because of a skill set that you possess. And this will play in your favor, I want to say that. Um, with this coffin card in reverse, you might be thrown out of your comfort zone, because it's change, it's exploration, it's upheaval for some. Because as well, because it's in reverse, actually, I want to mention that no matter, it's a case in which you'll be having to expand, or some situations will be thrown at you that will be very new, and you'll have to adapt basically. That's and it will be kind of uncomfortable, yet it will be like a very pleasant type of uncomfortable. Is that a situation in which, for example, you wanted attention, like you wanted, for example, clients in your area of work, and all of a sudden you are overwhelmed with a number. So you can expect that. Definitely keep that in mind if you have some thing here that is related to wishes and wanting to provide more love, support to people in general. Four of Cups in reverse. If you are dealing with some things I have described in your description, like loss of mood, loss of appetite, loss of whatever, apathy, whatever, this is the case of a flipped card, so that means you will be quitting those and entering into the Queen of Cups type of energy. That means occupying yourselves with hobbies, occupying yourselves with your favorite type of activity, or providing service or providing the best possible outcome or use for your talents and your skills to people. And if you were in suspense, if you were in boredom, if you were in a situation in which life felt like nothing is changing, you can expect upheaval, and this could be very much strongly work related, like a spark or a spike, a raise in activity. It could be a literally like a raise, actually. With a spark of productivity and activity, you could be praised for your performance. Performance as well plays very well in this reading in this pile. So yeah, if things were stagnant for you, then you can expect a rise in energy in things and especially in your surroundings. Okay, challenges open to life. You know, wasn't I just talking about this? Like, it feels to me like you're not yet aware of the opening that you'll be experiencing. So you might be like not ready psychologically, but the circumstances, the way in which they'll play out, you'll be finding yourselves very much in your right place. That means if you are unsure whether your skill is worth it, if you're unsure in your capacity or capability to bring value or to change a pattern or to help people evolve in a certain way or to change your life in general, you'll be thrown in these situations specifically to show you that you can actually. And the doubts and the thoughts I have described to you in the first part of the reading were actually like speculations, untrue stories that are not about you, that are not about your skills, and more so are about something else completely. Sacred geometry in reverse, I felt like this pile might be encountering as a change, as a challenge, a huge change and a loss of control, a positive loss of control. Those life circumstances in which everything kind of goes normal, kind of goes in the same rhythm, and you can expect things to go certain ways, but then all of a sudden like something happens, and a person arrives, there is a change in your workspace, and all of a sudden you find yourselves in a little bit of chaos and disarray. But as you look back in foresight, you realize that it was the right thing for you. It was the next step in evolution, and it was like a kick, from the universe in a positive way, in a beneficial way, not in a sadistic way, definitely not. If you find yourselves like panicking about the fear of the future, don't worry, or maybe worry a bit, because you'll be thrown unwillingly into new stuff, and you won't be actually inviting this, but it will happen on its own. So it could be the case, the first metaphor that came in mind, for example, you see a prodigy or a person who is dealing very well with an activity, and you're like, okay, maybe that person is not very appreciative of their skill, but all these people are seeing that, and I'm like, let's approach them and tell them that they should be transforming that skill into something more. And is that the type of approach that you'll be receiving from people who'll be appreciating you and saying like you should be evolving that thing, you should be expanding and advocating and advertising and marketing your skill? And you're like, no, but I'm unsure and whatever. And no, you'll be thrown in the right circumstances here. It's a very pleasant thing. Again, in opportunities, you've got the diversity and truth. So stepping in new ways and new dimensions of authenticity, an influx of new circumstances, new people, new connections, new situations. If you were used to routine, regularity in your life, you might be very well faced with a very innovative new set of circumstances that will be unwillingly making you question um, your status quo. I'm sorry, like, for the mumbling. That's so funny. Like, I have to mention this, but the speed in which I get these messages, I can't catch up. And basically, I get these information. I want to say it, but then I realize, okay, I didn't end the last sentence. Yeah. I guess that's my character being here. Comfort in reverse, yeah. That's pretty self-explanatory, and it's very funny actually, because I described you quitting your comfort zone, and many cards are indicating that. Goodbye comfort for this reading, goodbye comfort for this person, in a good way. I don't want to scare, and I don't want to basically bring bad information for you to be anticipating bad things in your life in a bad way in which you are feeling anxious. So that's a good thing. That's a good quitting comfort zone type of situation in which, yeah, you realize you have to do that, but you are doing so in a passionate way. So yeah, you should be actually, interestingly enough, excited about this. Okay, what do you need to release? This card as an advice. Yeah, again, the speed is interfering. Three cards, advice. What do you need to release? So, what kind of emotions, what kind of frustrations, fears, anxieties, anger, pent up, bottled up emotions rising from the subconscious mind? What do you need to release? Ask yourself, what practice do you need to engage with? Whether it is release type of work, whether it is journaling, yoga, meditation, expression, talking about it, or just containing the feeling, if that's something you truly resonate with. Breath work as well is something that is related to that kind of modality here. With this Nine of Wands, I picture Nine of Wands. It reminds me actually of the Ten of Wands here, with the intensity here, but it's as well a version to change, and something that will be shifting that perspective, or that aversion to change will be determination. So that means if you have a purpose, if you have a direction in which you have to or want to progress, then this determination or this envisioning or this direction will be something that will be very hugely motivating for you to pursue whatever ideal that you feel ideal, you feel drawn to pursue, basically. Playfulness in reverse, take it easy, take your time, and take it easy means don't be so serious, don't overthink, and don't make things more complicated than they are, you know. And try to go with the whim, try to go with the instinct, with the first feeling that comes as a result of you wanting to do something. For example, if you feel anxious, or for example, if you are presented an opportunity and you're like, oh, I'm really excited, but I don't know, and you're starting to overthink, and you have that passion, but at the same time you have that overthinking or fear. And go with the feeling, go with the instinct, go with the first thing that comes to mind, and trust your intuition, basically, and follow your voice. And what I mean follow your voice, follow your own direction, follow your own judgment and your own assessment of things, what's good for you, what's not good, what's right and wrong. All of this has to be discerned and filtered by your perception, and you have to trust it. You have to give it right and place to exist. If you're doubting it, this is the case of someone who has to relearn to trust in things such as like divine purpose, divine timing, self assurance, or self guidance, something along these lines actually. And reliance, like you could be encountering some traumatic event from the past that has changed the way in which you trust things in life. So you are very close to actually discovering what's wrong, or what's making you so lacking in faith, so to speak. So yeah, I encourage and invite the greatest things in your life with these cards, and fasten your seatbelts. Fourth pile, actually, because it's a good kick from the universe into the right direction, into opportunity, in authenticity, in the diversity here that I'm like watching this card. It's a situation in which, for example, you didn't foresee that you outgrown a pattern or a surrounding, but you'll have the hints for a time, and then sometime again you have some bigger hints, and when you do not listen to them, then some circumstances happen that make you move out or move forward in a more accelerated manner. I hope it really resonated with you. Fourth pile, that was a mix of very intense and powerful and deep information. I am eager to know whether it resonated or not. So, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my old videos and take care of yourselves. Bye.